afternoon. I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, we are watching for the possibility of strong to severe storms developing this afternoon. In fact, we have a warning right now. That's why we're continuing our severe weather alert day coverage. Meteorologist Evan Hatter has more on what to expect. Evan?
Well, Steve, our first severe thunderstorm warning of the day issued not too long ago for portions of Wayne and Pulaski counties. And this one has quite a bit of a threat with it as we look out at pinpoint Doppler now. First off, if you're in the portions of the Big Sandy, just some showers right now moving on out. But here is our severe thunderstorm warning. This runs until 4:15 this afternoon. A very strong cell moving through Wayne and Russell counties. Let's throw the threats on here. This is for northern western Pulaski and far southwestern, or excuse me, this is for western Wayne and far southwest Pulaski. The potential is there for this thunderstorm to produce 70-mile-per-hour winds as it moves to the north and east at 50 miles per hour. So we'll go ahead and put a track on this storm as it moves through portions of Wayne and Pulaski counties, right now into Wayne and Russell County, moving to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. If it holds together, we're talking Monticello here within the next couple of minutes, Nancy, Kentucky, and western Pulaski County by 4:15, Somerset by 4:23, Mount Victory by 4:36, and if it holds together, as we close in on the 5 o'clock hour, that could move towards the I-75 corridor and the city of London. Also a strong cell into portions of Campbell and Claiborne counties in Tennessee. That's sneaking into far southwestern Bell County right now. Nothing here is severe, but the western half of the area remains under a level 2 severe weather threat as we run through the remainder of the evening hours. The main threats continue to be damaging winds, heavy rain. You can never rule out an isolated tornado. Look at that big spin across Missouri. That's the low pressure system that this front is basically connected to. That will continue to push to the east as we head through the nighttime hours. Temperatures, they're a little bit cooler than yesterday, but we still have plenty of moisture and fuel available for these showers and thunderstorms as they continue to work through the mountains. So keep that WYMT weather app handy. Those thunderstorms with us as we run through the evening hours, eventually tapering back to just showers in the nighttime. But I don't think we're done with showers as we head into the day tomorrow. The very latest on that and on our warning when we see you again here in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Crews responded to a recent crash involving 3 cars, but those cars did not crash into each other. They fell off a tow truck. And as WIMT's Dakota Makers reports, officials are happy no one was behind the truck, saying this could have ended much worse.
Thousand Sticks Volunteer Fire Department Captain John Newell says they were called to a crash on Hal Rogers Parkway in Leslie County early Wednesday morning.
What happened is the truck carrying these vehicles lost them. And apparently, according to him, he did not know that these had fallen off his truck.
He says no one was hurt in the crash. The cars on the truck were crushed and heading to be recycled. Newell says the driver was stopped in Laurel County. He says this is a reminder not to follow too close to the trucks or cars in front of you, saying they could have responded to a scene much worse if someone had been following this driver.
It's just important to keep the distance, and you never know when something like this may happen. Fortunately, again, thank God that nothing was hit. Nobody was hit.
Officials also urge everyone on the road to do their part in keeping conditions safe, reminding truck drivers to make sure their loads are strapped down before they hit the road. In Leslie County, Dakota Makers, WYMT Mountain News.
Newell also tells us the fire department has responded to crashes where drivers have crossed the center line, but he says rumble strips down the middle and sides of the Hal Rogers Parkway have saved people from crashing. One kitchen in Pike County is celebrating another year of serving the community. The Grace Community Kitchen serves folks throughout Pike County, and today volunteers and officials celebrated 7 years of service. Executive Director Debbie Bailey said the kitchen began more than a decade ago without a name and only serving folks on holidays, but swiftly grew into something bigger.
And after doing that for a few years, I just had this feeling that, this sense that we needed to do more to help our community. And in that process of trying to understand what the Lord was saying, out of that birthed the Grace Community Kitchen.
Bailey also says the kitchen served nearly 14,000 meals in 2021 alone, and in the 2 hours the kitchen served meals just today, more than 300 meals were prepared and served for those in the community. We'll have more on this coming up tonight at 6. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Thursday. The Dow closes up today more than 518 points. So a good day on Wall Street. We'll have more financial news in our next half hour. Lawmakers left town for a week-long Memorial Day recess. That gives them 1 week to find a deal before Democrats push ahead with votes on gun safety legislation. CBS's Skylar Henry has more from Capitol Hill.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle agree. They never want to see another tragedy like what happened in Uvalde, Texas this week.
I'm not interested in the same old tired talking points. I'm actually interested in what we can do to make the terrible events that occurred in Uvalde less likely in the future.
But lawmakers can't seem to agree on how to prevent another tragedy. 4 Republicans joined 5 Democrats for a working lunch Thursday to see if they can find some middle ground on gun safety legislation before they left town for a Memorial Day break.
Is it possible that there's something that happens in the middle of June when you guys get back?
I think it's not only possible, it's necessary that we work every day, literally every day when we are out of session, because when we're back in session right away, we need to take votes.
Hundreds protested outside the Capitol Thursday, demanding they quickly vote on new safety laws.
My main focus is to get a vote on record, figure out who needs to get out in November.
Erica Lafferty's mother was the principal of Sandy Hook Elementary. She says her heart broke all over again when she saw video of Uvalde families waiting to find out if their children were okay.
I know how it is to be in that room and waiting and to finally get the news that you're not one of the lucky ones.
But Texas Senator Ted Cruz says Democrats are trying to politicize the tragedy.
What Democrats in the press try to do in the wake of every mass shooting is they try to demonize law-abiding gun owners.
Cruz is scheduled to speak Friday when the NRA kicks off its national convention in Houston, just hours away from the shooting. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott is also scheduled to speak at the NRA convention, as is former President Donald Trump. The World Health Organization says the number of new coronavirus cases and deaths are still falling after peaking in January, but some parts of the world are now seeing an increase in cases, including the Americas, and officials say they are keeping track of multiple, quote, variants of concern, such as Omicron BA4 and BA5, which recently caused a surge of cases in South Africa. 2 monkeypox cases have now been confirmed in Utah. The CDC says this means there's at least 3 patients in the U.S. with the disease. The other case was reported in Massachusetts. Several states also have suspected cases. The World Health Organization says more than 250 people in at least 16 countries have monkeypox. The CDC is advising all travelers to avoid close contact with sick people and wild animals. The agency says the risk to the public is low, but people should be aware of any unexplained rashes. Still ahead on First at 4 as Top Gun Maverick hits theaters. One aviator who was part of the Elite Flying Combat Training School and the original movie shares his experiences.
And stormy weather continues throughout the mountains this afternoon. The very latest on our severe thunderstorms coming up.